Hey, it's Lisa. I'm not shopping and I'm not being funny today. So, because normally I come on here and do some crazy, dumb things. I am 60 years old and I just have started doing YouTube. I did one a long time ago, just like one or two when I was doing hauls when my daughter was younger. Um, but I wanted to come on here. I've been wanting to do this one, but it's a little heavier than some of my fun, because I usually like to be funny. And I have written some notes down, so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. I had done one driving in my car recently when I was going to the doctor for some testing. I have to do testing once a year, and so what I want to talk with you about today is cirrhosis of the liver, and not the alcoholic. It's the non-alcoholic. It's comes from fatty liver. Comes from being overweight, obese, and it can turn into cirrhosis of the liver, and mine did. So I'm going to do air quotes. I hate air quotes, but I'm going to do it because just fatty liver can turn into cirrhosis. And so for years, because I have diabetes, I see my doctor every 6 months and we do blood work. And I know for like the last, this is before I was diagnosed, like 2 or 3 times in a row, the red markers come up on, I don't know if you have or check your things. Sorry. But it would come up that these things were high. Some things were high, some were low. And so when I looked it up, it indicated something was wrong with my liver. So I would text back in the portal to my family doctor, PCP, and say, hey, this says something, going on with my liver. Just fatty liver. Just fatty liver. If you have a doctor that tells you just fatty liver, either you find you a new doctor or you tell that doctor, hey, I know this. All right, so I'm going to preface this. I'm not a doctor. I'm not in the medical field. This is coming from my experience and my health. And so please look things up, ask your doctor, and hold their feet to the fire. So just fatty liver can turn into cirrhosis of the liver. And again, this is non-alcoholic. I'm not a drinker. I did drink in the past, but I cannot now. I probably had 2-3 drinks, mixed drinks a year, because like I said, I'm not a drinker. My dad was an alcoholic, and I think thank God, that I did not develop that disease. But anyway, so the third time, the markers were so off the chart, and I said, hey, this is high again. And so I don't know if it was just to appease me or if the numbers were so high that she thought, oh, we need to do something. And to be honest, I cannot remember the exact progression. I think I went for blood work, and I know at some point I had to have a biopsy. But long story short, my fatty liver turned into cirrhosis. And so I think going on maybe my 3rd or 4th year. I don't have extreme symptoms yet. And there's also, I don't know if everybody gets that, but there's an autoimmune disease that comes with cirrhosis. I think it was called PBC. Let me see. I can look it up really quick. Primary biliary cholangitis. So that, again, like I said, I don't know if that comes with everybody's, but it did. I come with mine. And it's autoimmune liver disease where the immune system attacks small bile ducts, causing blockage, inflammation, and scarring, cirrhosis. So when I spoke, then I went to, or was sent to, an endocrinologist, and was telling her how I felt like my primary doctor missed this. And she said, well, we don't know who's going to get cirrhosis from just fatty liver. And so I had just watched, it was like I didn't watch the whole thing, it was an hour long, but it was some doctor out of California, and I wish I could refer you to that. Maybe I'll try to find it and put a link below, and I'll put some links of reputable things about fatty liver and cirrhosis down in the description area. But this doctor, again from California, was talking about they don't know. That doctor was right, they don't know. But there are markers of people that are at a higher rate of it turning into that. And that's what I've written here. So I've already told you I have diabetes, and I told you that I am obese, and I do have an autoimmune disease other than the one that I just talked about. I have Sjogren's, which is where your mucus making membranes attack themselves, like dry. So that's what, if you keep seeing me do that, I'm trying to make my eyes wet so they are not so dry. So here are the things that you know about me. Oh, and I have sleep apnea. I know that. So these are the things that increase your risk of your fatty liver turning into cirrhosis. Weight, diabetes, this is how many I have, obese, autoimmune disease, sleep apnea. So, and there's more. The one was high blood pressure. I don't have high blood pressure, thank God. But out of the 5 markers, that lady, that doctor said I had them all. Somebody wasn't watching me. And I actually had weight loss surgery in 2017. And at that time, that doctor noted in my notes, and then the new doctor that diagnosed me with cirrhosis said that he read that in my chart because it's the same hospital. And they noted back then that I had, I think, some scarring on my liver at that time. And I was never told. I was never, ever told. So I don't know what's going on with the medical community, and God bless them. There's a lot of hardworking doctors, nurses out there, don't get me wrong. But something's going on that we have to, and it's just not me, because I work in an office of about 7, 8 other women. And we all have stories, not like, you know, getting cirrhosis or anything like that, but having to really follow up and research your own health. And I don't know what that's about. But the main thing I wanted to come on here today is because I want somebody to, hear this before it's too late for them. Sorry. But again, if you have fatty liver, if you're overweight, more than likely you do have fatty liver. Obesity is killing Americans. And I struggled with years for it. I am on Mounjaro now and am losing weight, but I am on that for my diabetes, and it is very controlled. Yeah, I wrote that down on my list. I want to make sure I had said diabetes, but I hope I can help somebody else out there before it turns into cirrhosis for you. Losing weight is very hard. If you're overweight, you know this. If you're thin, you don't know it, and you should thank the Lord you don't, because it's not about willpower. Because I always think about Oprah. With all her money, with all her resources, if she couldn't get a hold of getting the weight off until this shot, because it makes you, I assume the way I feel now is how a normal person feels when they eat, someone that's not overweight. Because when you're overweight, and before this shot, I felt like food, I lived to eat, and now I eat to live. Yeah, sorry. I'm not going to edit this or anything. I'm just going to put it out there raw. And but like I said, I just been wanting to make this for a long time. I had made one, but I was driving, and I didn't have all my little notes that I wanted to point things out. And again, I'm not a medical doctor. Please refer to your doctor. Look things up yourself on reputable sites like the Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Clinic. I'm sure there's many more out there, but those are usually the 2 that I look at. And just fatty liver can turn into non-alcoholic cirrhosis. I think they call it NALF, non-alcoholic liver. I'm not sure. But yeah, so if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer what I know, but the best person is going to be your family doctor, and do not let them say just fatty liver. Take care.